This morning, our very special guest, Rita Dung, is hanging out with us. She is the Ministry Coordinator for International Friendship, Inc., or IFI. Good morning, Rita.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
Yeah, so great to have you here. Anybody you want to say hi to this morning?
Yeah, shout out to Mike, my coworker. I think he's on listening.
Yeah, hi, Mike. Thank you for tuning in. So tell us all about International Friendship.
Yeah, so I'm working with an organization, International Friendship, that aims to serve international students, especially college students in the area. Yeah, and I'm really passionate about my ministry because I was once an international student when I came here in 2015 from China. Yeah.
So when you came from China, where did you come to when you came to the United States?
Yeah, I wasn't even a Christian when I first came to the United States. I was personally struggling with a lot of depression and just having no purpose in my life. Growing up in China, it was really hard because I had something called sensory processing disorder. And, you know, China, we don't really, are not really aware that kids can have special needs. And I was really bullied growing up and very lonely. I had no friends. So I went through a period in my life when I was really searching for meaning, and God just kept giving me these glimpses of like joy in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think there is something out there. Yeah, and so at this, when my mom started attending churches, I was like, this is really interesting. And then one day she went to this random church meeting that this random American high school was presenting at, and she just decided I'm going to send my 15-year-old daughter over the Pacific Ocean to this classical Christian school in, I think, Newcastle, Delaware.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just came from China to Newcastle, Delaware, to a Christian school.
Yeah.
And that's where you accepted Christ. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was definitely kind of clueless. I kind of knew, okay, God definitely exists because I can see his goodness and his power in my life, but I had no clue what the gospel really is. And in China, especially in churches, they don't really explain the death and resurrection that well because, you know, it's kind of not allowed in any sense. But when I came here, we had, theology class. We would sing every morning. We would just talk about God in a way that I've never heard before. And I was just really moved. I loved going to school every day and learning more about who Jesus is. And I was sitting in one of my theology class one day. I remember exactly what it was like. And my theology professor was talking about how Christ's crucifixion transformed this earth into a new heaven, a new earth, and the cross became like the new tree of life, and the curtain was torn, and we can now see God face to face. And I was just like dumbfounded. I was sitting in my seat, and I was like, wow, this is it. I want to be a Christ follower because of what he did for me. And yeah, I remember I can still feel very emotional thinking about that moment. But yeah, and then I got baptized in 2017, and then when I got baptized, everybody stood up and clapped for me, and then there was kind of like a prophecy at the end. It was like, you're gonna use your story and your just storytelling ability to be a minister one day and help other people. And I was like, are you kidding me? I didn't come to America to be a minister. Like, what? But well, here we are.
Here you are. So as part of International Friendships, you're reaching out and wanting to draw people from around the world to hear about Christ. How are you doing that?
Well, we're doing it through the power of friendship and relationships. I think because I know personally how lonely it can get as international students, how shocking it is to just land here all by yourself as a very young person. And a college campus is not the exact most friendly place in a sense because you feel really small and that nobody cares for you and nobody understands you. So we're going into college campuses to say, hey, we're here for you. We want to serve you. We want to be able to drive you around. It's just so hard to not have a car here. We want to help you make you feel at home. And why we're doing this, because we love Jesus and he loves you too.
That's awesome. If people want more information, can they visit you online?
Yes, you can go to lancaster.ifipartners.com to find out more about, becoming involved, or you can go to the teams if you wanted to talk more or support me personally, because I am also fundraising to be a full-time minister. I really want to be a full-time minister so bad. I'm at about 70% when it comes to raising my support. So if you want to support me and go on this journey with me, because I'm definitely still trying to figure it out. I'd love to have you as a financial partner in supporting my ministry. Yeah.
Check it out online, lancaster.ifipartners.org. If you have a heart for ministry to international students, here's an opportunity for you to support Rita and what IFI is doing. We're going to talk more with Rita coming up, so stick around. Our very special guest this morning, Rita Dong, is hanging out with us. She's the ministry coordinator for International Friendship, Inc., International Friendship here in Lancaster. She was an international student who came here from China over 10 years ago now, almost.
Yeah, almost.
Amazing. And now you have a passion for reaching international students with the gospel. What fueled that passion? Why do you want to get involved in ministry?
Well, really, because when I came here 10 years ago from China, I didn't know what Christianity is. I know God, but I didn't know Jesus. We don't have as much resources back home for people to understand the gospel. But when I came here, I was just so in awe of who Christ is. I became a Christian, and I really developed a passion for the gospel. So when I was at a school in Delaware, and then for college, I came to Lancaster at Franklin Marshall College. And there was definitely a culture shock. I felt very out of place at FNM because I wasn't Chinese enough, but I wasn't also not American enough. But through that, I think God really cultivated, hey, this is not about me. This is about how you're representing me to the people on campus. So I became involved with the campus fellowship at Franklin Marshall, and I was like the president. I led Bible studies. I mentored students, and I was just like, I don't really care about my grades. Like, I just want to be with people and tell them who God is and walk them through their faith, and that became my passion. And ministry.
Yeah, I love that what you were doing was the thing that you were passionate about, and now you're able to do that as part of international friendship. So what are some of the things that you are doing to reach out to students?
So international friendship, we want to show Christ's love through the power of relationship and making international students feel like home. I think a lot of them land here and they're just fresh off the boat. They just don't know how it works. Right. So we kind of live beside them and help them with their needs and invite them into our homes and show them hospitality. I think it's really important because a lot of American students, like 70%, they never enter American home. They never establish any tangible relationship with locals. And they leave the country. They never get over their culture shock. They kind of develop this like negative idea about the West, about America, about Christianity. And that breaks my heart because I personally know what it is like to have my life changed because I came here as an international student and met Christ. Right?
That's awesome. So folks can support what you're doing. And by the way, you're fairly new, right? You guys have only been around about a year?
Yeah, right. It was just amazing how God provided. I was really looking for, can I stay in the U.S.? What is my purpose here? I was feeling fairly lost after graduation, but then right as I was about to just leave the country, God was like, hey, here's an opportunity. I want you to stay. So the ministry at the time was very newly established. Someone has just moved here to start a chapter, and they're looking for someone who knows ministry, who knows international student, who has been a student at Franklin Marshall. And that was me, basically. And I was like, wow, Lord, you want me to stay here? You want me to do this ministry? So I applied and got just accepted. I was so excited to do the ministry, but it was still hard work. It's, starting something brand new. So it was going on college campuses, meeting students by myself. It was just being completely open and honest and flexible to, hey, students calling me at like 8 p.m. at night being like, hey, I really need to get to someplace. Can you please take me? And it was spontaneous. It was busy. It was kind of, I get frazzled a lot sometimes, but I love it. I love it to just be able to serve them. I get to meet so many wonderful people from countries I never dreamed of meeting people from there, like Madagascar, like Eritrea, Malawi, like my mind is blown every time I'm like, oh, I get to meet these people. But I was just a little girl in China. I never thought I could be here and be doing this. Yeah.
I love how you let God work in your life. You told us earlier that your mom went to a meeting by some random guy, and that's what brought you to the U.S. And now meeting someone, you're doing full-time ministry. And I love that you let God work in your life in those random events. I think that's great. We want to encourage you, if you want to find out more about Rita is doing and you want to help reach international students with the gospel, to check out their website, International Friendships. It's lancaster.ifipartners.org. You could support Rita there. You could pray for her there. You could find out what she is doing. And Rita, before you go, how can folks pray for you right now?
Well, we are starting our new clubs, being official on college campus. I'm super excited. Please pray that I will be able to reach my full support so I can be a full-time minister on campus. That is the one thing I'm really working on this summer.
We love meeting you. We pray for your ministry and support you as well. Lancaster.ifipartners.org. Check it out. Rita, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Back to the music we go. This is Josh Wilson. It gets better. WJTL. Good morning.